There is a moment in absolute silence when even heaven seems to pause. A rare instant when Archangel Michael, the commander of the celestial armies, the warrior who has never been defeated in any battle since the beginning of time, sheds a single tear. And that tear is not weakness, mark my words. That tear is concentrated love. It is a warning. It is a divine decree falling from on high onto earth. Because when Michael weeps for someone, the entire heaven shifts. And if you are hearing these words now, at this very instant, at this time in the chair where you are sitting, in the emotional state you are in, know this. This is no coincidence. This is a summons, because one of those tears has just fallen upon your name. Take a deep breath now, deep. Fill your chest to the limit and let it out slowly. Do this with me, because your protection is being renewed, now, at this very second. Not tomorrow, not when your life improves, not when you feel you deserve more. Now. You feel it, don't you? That subtle shiver rising up your spine, that gentle tightness in the center of your chest, that inexplicable warmth taking over your forehead, that strange sensation that something inside you has just awakened. This is not a fleeting emotion, this is soul memory. Your soul is remembering at this moment who it truly is, and who has been walking by your side, sword raised, for far longer than your rational mind can comprehend. You have spent your entire life asking for protection, crying for help in the dead of night, begging for something to finally change. But I must hand you the main secret, the one few have the courage to reveal in this language. You do not receive what you ask for. You receive what you feel deep down that already is. The law of assumption does not fail. Feeling is the secret. And as long as your state of consciousness continues to operate on the frequency of the unprotected, the abandoned, the forgotten, you will continue to attract exactly those scenarios into your life. Today, this changes. Today, you will no longer ask for protection like someone begging for crumbs at the gate of heaven. Today, you will occupy the state of one who is already protected by the commander of the celestial hosts himself. Because you are. And Michael weeps because you have not yet managed to see it. I know what you have been living through. I see it, even from the other side of the screen. I know the weight of the bills that arrive even before the paycheck lands in your account. I know the nights when your bedroom ceiling turns into a movie screen for your worst fears. I know about the love that doesn't arrive, or the one that departed and took with it a piece of you that you have yet to replace. I know about the child who drifted away, the marriage that cooled without warning, the health that flickers like a candle in the wind. And it is exactly over this silence that Michael weeps at this moment. Not because God has abandoned you, but because you believed that you had been abandoned, and your inner dialogue of fear repeated thousands of times was exactly what sealed the doors you tried so hard to open. I need to stop here for a moment, because as I speak, something is happening within you and I cannot ignore it. You did not arrive at this video randomly. Among millions of pieces of content competing for your attention, this is the one that locked onto your screen. And you are still here, feeling every word descend into your chest, perhaps with tear-filled eyes, perhaps with that discomfort in the center of your sternum that insists on pulsing. This is Michael knocking on your inner door. And whoever knocks waits for an answer. There is something happening in your life right now that urgently needs to be spiritually shielded. It could be your family, it could be your home, it could be your mind, it could be your own body. You feel this weight. You wake up in the middle of the night and you know that something is acting in the invisible against your loved ones. You try to pray and it feels like the words get stuck in your throat. It is not madness. It is not a phase. It is a lack of spiritual coverage activated consciously with the law of assumption and persistence. And that is why the Archangel Michael is weeping as I speak to you now. That is why I have prepared a powerful digital book for you called How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day. This is not just any book. It is a manual of spiritual discernment for souls who feel the call but need confirmation. Inside it, you will find the unmistakable signs of a soul marked by God for salvation, the invisible behaviors that silently distance protection from above, the secret decrees to seal your home, and the shielding prayer that the Archangel Michael himself inspired. The link is pinned at the top of the comments, and also in the description of this video. People who have received this material report that they slept in peace for the first time in years, that they saw the atmosphere of their home change within hours, that they felt the presence of the Archangel palpably during the reading. Do not let this moment pass. This content may be taken down at any time because not everyone is spiritually prepared to receive it. If you are here now, it is because you were chosen to receive it now. Comment below with the words, "Amen, Michael," to seal this renewal in your spiritual field before we proceed. Now let us go deeper, because I did not bring you here just to console you. I brought you here to transform you, and true transformation does not happen at the level of fleeting emotion. It happens at the deep level of consciousness. There is a quantum truth that science is only now beginning to confess, but which ancient mystics already knew. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times more powerful than your brain. This has been measured in a laboratory, documented in serious research centers, and this field extends for meters around your body. When you vibrate in fear, this field contracts, closes, and literally signals to the invisible that you are vulnerable. When you vibrate in assumed faith, this field expands, becomes an electromagnetic shield, and curves reality around you. The Archangel Michael operates in this fourth dimension, on the plane where feeling is the secret, where faith is subtle matter, where that which you feel you are becomes your concrete experience. And as long as you continue to feel fear as a dominant truth, you will continue to be found by the things you fear most. But the second you assume the feeling of protection as something already consummated, Michael will have full access to your field, to act with all the power of his sword. Neville Goddard taught, and I repeat so that you engrave it deeply, I am is the name of God within you. Everything you place after I am, you decree before heaven and earth. I am tired, I am abandoned, I am sick, I am poor, I am forgotten. Each of these statements is a portal you consciously open, which the universe obediently comes to fill exactly as requested. Now, reverse it all. I am protected, I am guarded, I am supported by Archangel Michael, I am untouchable by evil, I am the property of heaven. Feel this. Do not just repeat it, feel it, because feeling is the secret, and it is the feeling that will build the bridge of incidents that will materialize your new reality on this concrete plane where you walk. Joseph Murphy used to say that the subconscious mind is like fertile soil that does not judge what you plant. It simply fulfills it. If you have planted lack of protection for years, it has delivered lack of protection. But at this moment as I speak, you are planting something new, and Archangel Michael is the rain that comes to water these new seeds with urgency. Here is the common mistake that annuls the manifestation of almost every person who attempts this path. And pay double attention now, because if I don't tell you this, you will continue spinning in circles for another 10 years. The mistake is as follows. Stop everything. This cliffhanger I have just left you with is not a trick to trap you. It is a pact. Because the next thing I am going to reveal can permanently change the way you relate to the invisible and to your own reality. But before that, I must firmly remind you, the digital book, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, is waiting for you in the link pinned at the top of the comments and in the description of this video. Those who have read it say that their lives turned around in weeks. Do not let Michael weep in vain because of your hesitation. Comment I receive and continue with me. The time of heaven is now. The most common error, the one that annuls the manifestation of protection, is reverse persistence. You ask for protection during the day, and at night you watch news that fills you with dread. You decree shielding in the morning, and in the afternoon you get into arguments that fill you with anger, hurt, resentment. You pray before sleeping, but the last thought in your head before sleep arrives is a scenario of tragedy. And your subconscious mind, a faithful servant, records the last emotional state of the day as absolute truth and spends the entire night working to deliver exactly that to you. You are sabotaging your own protection every night without realizing it. Nocturnal reprogramming is the most sacred portal you have available. The last 10 minutes before sleep and the first 10 minutes upon waking are the open gates of your subconscious. Whoever enters there rules. and you have been allowing fears, bills, bitter memories, and mental ghosts to enter through that gate every night of your life. Today you will change the guard. Today the one who enters is Michael. Today you sleep repeating with deep feeling, with internal conviction, I am guarded, I am protected, I am supported. Heaven watches over me while I sleep. My family is covered. My home is an inviolable fortress. Feel this descending into your chest like warm water, heating every part of you. Feel it as if it has already happened. Because on the plane of the fourth dimension, it is already finished, in fact. And here enters the part that few have the courage to explain in traditional churches. Archangel Michael does not act alone, in isolation. He acts through your state of consciousness. He is the executor of the law of the kingdom within you. And that law states, without ambiguity, faith without the corresponding feeling is dead. You can pray 1,000 rosaries, light 1,000 candles, shout 1,000 hallelujahs. If your dominant feeling is that of a victim, you remain a victim. But the moment you occupy the inner throne and say with calm, with authority, without the need to shout, without the need to beg, I am guarded by the Prince of Hosts, your external reality begins to reorganize itself to reflect this new inner truth. Think of a Brazilian lady, 60-some years old, who lived for decades under constant attack. Her husband drank. Her youngest son got involved with bad company. Overdue bills formed piles on the kitchen table. She was always praying, always asking, always crying. But her feeling was always the same: fear, dread, tightness. Until one day she grew tired. Not tired of faith, tired of asking. And she began to feel in her chest as if she had already been answered. She started to sleep, repeating softly, I am guarded, my home is sealed, my son is in the hands of the Archangel. Without crying, without begging, simply feeling the truth descend. In 90 days, her husband sought help on his own. Her son returned home transformed. The bills began to be paid one by one through paths that no one understood. It was not magic, it was law, it was assumption. It was Michael acting in the field opened by her new vibration. When Archangel Michael cries for a soul, 3 things happen simultaneously on the spiritual plane. First, a seal is placed upon that person's name, a seal that can only be activated if they consciously choose to receive it. Second, an invisible chain of protection is extended over the house, over the children, over the spouse, over the parents. Third, a sequence of events is summoned, a series of coincidences that are not coincidences, to make this person wake up from the spiritual sleep in which they found themselves. If you are seeing repeated patterns, dreams of swords, of warriors, of blue or violet light descending, of hands pulling you upward, know this: the bridge of incidents is already being built before your eyes. It is not madness, it is not suggestion, it is contact. And what does this contact ask of you? Only one thing: persistence in the new feeling. Persistence. This word needs to enter your flesh. Because in the first week, your old subconscious program will try to return. It will bring you old thoughts, old feelings, old memories. It will push you back to the state of the known victim. And it is exactly there, in that moment of inner temptation, that your new life is decided. Whoever persists in the feeling of realized protection is the one who sees the external world bow its knees before the new reality. Whoever gives up halfway returns to the old prison of fear. I'm going to teach you now a technique that is simple, yet devastating in power, which you can apply today, right before you sleep. It is called the Commander's Seal. You will close your eyes. You will take 3 deep breaths, exhaling very slowly through your mouth. You will place your right hand over your heart, feeling the beat against your palm, and you will imagine, with the greatest clarity you can muster, a sword of blue light descending from above and entering exactly into the center of your chest, not as an aggression, as a pinning of divine property, like someone planting a flag on reconquered earth. You will feel this sword vibrating inside your chest, and you will say in a low but absolutely firm voice, I am property of the kingdom. I am guarded by the Commander. My house is sealed. My family is sealed. Everything that is mine is sealed. And you will repeat it until you feel in your chest a sensation of warmth, of peace, of absolute belonging. Do this for 7 nights in a row, and observe what will start to happen in your external world. I need to tell you something that might hurt a little, but it is out of pure love. If you are reaching this point, feeling every word settle in your chest, and you still haven't allowed yourself to receive the digital book, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, perhaps there is a spiritual resistance operating against you that needs to be cut now. This material was built to serve exactly as a complement to this message. It deepens the commander's seal. It reveals the 5 unmistakable marks of the souls chosen for salvation. It gives you the prayers that Archangel Michael inspired and that are not taught anywhere else on this earth. The link is pinned at the top of the comments and at the very beginning of the description. Those who received it say they had confirmation dreams on the first night, that they felt the house cool down and then warm up, as if something had been cleansed, that they saw relatives reaching out to them again. Do not ignore what is being delivered for a fraction of an offering. Michael does not weep twice for the same soul on the same day. Comment seal accepted, and follow me to the end, because what comes now is the key to everything. The key is this. Your protection does not depend on what is happening in your external life. It depends exclusively on what you decide to be internally, right now, in this second. And this is the law. The law of assumption is spiritual mathematics. It has no favorites, it has no exceptions. It only obeys your dominant feeling. You may be in the red, you may have a broken heart. You may be dealing with a diagnosis that frightens you in the dead of night. You may be seeing your child lost on paths that burn like embers. And even then, even with all of this, you can now in this second feel as if everything were already resolved. Feel the relief. Feel the anticipated gratitude rising through your sternum. Feel the smile of someone who has already seen the end of the movie. This is the state of Michael. This is the state that opens heaven. This is the state of the 4th dimension, where reality is still malleable, and where Michael acts with full powers over the matter of your world. Think of a retired gentleman who for years lived in fear of violence on his neighborhood street. Every night he would lock himself in his house, filled with anxiety, listening to noises, imagining break-ins. Until one day, he watched a message like this and decided to change the frequency of his own heart. He began to sleep feeling, instead of fear, a sense of strength. Instead of imagining the worst, he imagined angels at the 4 corners of his house, not as a childish fantasy, but as a deep decree of ownership. I am guarded. In a few weeks, without him doing anything externally, the violence on the street diminished. Problematic neighbors moved away. Public lighting was reinforced by a city hall decision. A police car began patrolling there regularly. Coincidence? No. Bridge of incidents. The 4th dimension reorganizing itself to honor his new state of consciousness. Think of a mother who lived tormented by the possibility of losing her job. Every morning she would wake up with a tightness in her chest. Every email from her boss seemed like a threat. Every meeting was anticipated dread. She changed the feeling. Instead of suffering, they are going to fire me, she began to feel, I am valued. I am indispensable where God has placed me. Archangel Michael guards my livelihood. Without changing anything on the surface, only by changing the dominant feeling. In 60 days she was promoted. And not by luck, by law. Think of a couple on the verge of divorce after 15 years together. Daily arguments, silences louder than words. The wife decided to stop asking for reconciliation. Instead, she began to feel every night before sleep as if they were already reconciled. She felt his laughter in her ear. She felt the hug before sleep. She felt the I love you not yet spoken that day. No manipulation, no spell, just pure law of assumption. In 3 months, the husband sought therapy on his own initiative. The home was rebuilt. Archangel Michael acted in the space opened by her feeling. The question burning in your chest now is, what have you been feeling as absolute truth, even if it hasn't fully manifested yet? Because that, exactly that, is the next phase of your life. If your dominant feeling today is defeat, defeat will come. If today it begins to be victory, even without immediate external evidence, victory will come. The law is blind to circumstances. It merely mirrors frequency. And here is the most delicate part. the one many will hear and look away from, but which you cannot turn from. Your family depends on the frequency you emit daily. Your children absorb your electromagnetic field. Your spouse dances to your emotional music, even without realizing it. Your parents, even from a distance, feel your electromagnetic field crossing the space. When you become a channel for Archangel Michael, your entire home changes. The children begin to sleep better, the animals calm down, the arguments diminish, business prospers. Not because anyone there did something, but because you assumed a new state of consciousness, and the new state is contagious by nature. You have been called to be a lighthouse. You have been chosen to be a bridge. You are, whether you like it or not, the channel through which Archangel Michael wants to descend with protection for your loved ones, and this spiritual responsibility is not a burden. It is a rare honor, but it requires immediate decision. It requires that you stop now, seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, and begin to see yourself as an authority over circumstances. Because the I Am in you is older than any problem you are living through, and when this I Am awakens, problems reorganize themselves before it. There is a final technique I want to give you before this meeting ends, because it is in itself a miracle when applied with persistence. I call it sacred revision. Before sleeping, you will mentally revisit the day that has passed, but not to blame yourself, to rewrite it. Everything that happened today that was difficult, you will imagine it happening the way you would have liked it to happen. An argument? Imagine peace in the conversation, frustration at work. Imagine recognition. Bad news? Imagine good news arriving. Do this with deep feeling, not as a mental exercise, but as a sincere internal recreation. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between the real and the vividly imagined, and this is one of the most powerful keys of the kingdom. It will begin to tune your nervous system and your electromagnetic frequency to the new rewritten reality. In a short time, the external bows to the internal. It is law. It is the law of assumption. It is Michael ratifying the silent decree. Do you know why so many people fail on this path? Because they want to see to believe. And the way of the kingdom is the reverse. You must believe to see. You must feel before receiving. You must occupy the throne before the crown appears in the mirror. This is the paradox of heaven. And Michael only serves those who understand this sacred inversion. Those who keep asking, keep begging. Those who begin to feel like a king receive the entire kingdom as a gift. I ask you now, with all the depth these words carry, that you decree internally along with me with the feeling of one who already is. I am guarded by Archangel Michael. My life is under seal. My family is under cover. My paths are straightened. My sustenance is abundant. My heart is serene. My home is a fortress. And no weapon forged against me shall prosper, because the weapon of heaven has already been driven into the center of my chest. Feel this decree. Let it descend from your lips to your chest, and from your chest to your gut. Let it settle into your cells, because every cell of yours has memory, and you are now, in this sacred moment, reprogramming billions of them at once. Archangel Michael does not operate in the linear time you know. He operates in the eternal now. For him, your outcome is already consummated. The question is only when you will allow yourself to feel in the flesh that which already exists in the field. And this permission does not come from the church. It does not come from the spiritual guide. It comes from you, from an internal yes, from an I accept, from an I receive spoken with your whole soul. There are 3 signs you will notice in the coming days, and I want you to be alert, because they are the confirmation that Michael has ratified the pact you have just made. First sign. You will begin to wake up in the early hours, usually between 3 and 4 in the morning, for no apparent reason, without agitation, with a sensation of presence in the room. Do not be afraid. It is the time of heaven. It is when Michael descends closer to earth. Use this moment to repeat, softly, I am guarded, I am guarded, I am guarded, and go back to sleep in peace. Second sign, you will begin to have dreams of protection. It could be a shield, it could be a sword, it could be blue light descending from above, it could be a large figure taking you by the hand. It is not imagination, it is direct communication. Write these dreams down upon waking, even if they seem strange. They carry decrees from heaven. Third sign, you will begin to notice a calm you did not know before, even in the middle of chaos, even when news arrives, or a demand, or a fight. Something within you will remain firm, as if there were a rock in the center of your chest. This rock is Michael. This rock is your awakened I Am. This rock is the fourth dimension, anchoring itself into your concrete life. From the moment these three signs begin to appear, you are officially within the flow. And the flow has no turning back. It only takes you upward. But listen closely, for I must warn you about a trap that catches almost every beginner. When this flow begins, your life may seem to get worse before it gets better. Do you know why? Because the light exposes what was hidden in the shadows. Things will come to the surface. People will drift away. Old patterns will suddenly break, and your old self will scream within you that everything is going wrong. Do not believe that voice. This is cleansing, not punishment. This is Michael, tearing away what needs to be torn away so that the new can flourish. Persistence. Persistence in the feeling. Persistence in the law of assumption. Persistence in the I Am. Everything that falls away does so because it was no longer meant to sustain you at the new level. And here is the harshest, and at the same time, most liberating, truth of this entire encounter. Most people who hear this message will not apply it. They will feel it, be moved by it, share it with a friend, and return to their old lives within 48 hours. Because applying it requires a decision. Applying it requires interrupting the automatism of fear. Applying it requires assuming a new state of consciousness 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And few have the courage for that. But you do. I feel that you do. Michael would not shed a tear for you if he did not know that you are one of the few who will go to the end of the path. Do you remember when you were a child, and something within you knew things that no one had formally taught you? That clean intuition, that direct connection with the invisible, that keen ear for the sacred, you still have that. It was just covered over by years of pressure, of bad news, of toxic internal dialogue, of relationships that drained your original frequency. Today you begin to peel away those layers one by one, and beneath them all lies your eternal I Am, whole, untouched by time, ready to reign once again over your own world. There is still one last layer of secret that I want to give you. The Archangel Michael does not respond only to those who cry out. He responds to those who honor. To honor is to live in such a way that heaven recognizes in you a faithful ally. And how to honor? By watching your words. Every word that leaves your mouth is a decree. Every conversation filled with gossip, complaints, or malice is a rift in your spiritual armor. Every word of faith, of blessing, of gratitude, even spoken in the midst of pain, is a stitch in that armor. Begin to view your mouth as a sacred gate. What enters and exits through it decides your destiny. And to honor also means to be careful about what you consume. What enters through your eyes, your ears, and your mind becomes feeling, and feeling becomes concrete reality. Reduce the poison, increase the light, filter your companions, even the virtual ones. You cannot ask for protection while spending 3 hours a day on content involving violence, scandal, and explicit hatred. Internal coherence is the soil where Michael can plant with strength. To honor is also to forgive. Even that hurt that seems eternal, that forgiveness you think you will never be able to give, let it go, not for the other person, for you. Because as long as you keep hatred stored in your chest, you keep your frequency tied to the earth. And Michael cannot act on a tied-down field. Let it go. Say in silence, I forgive you. I release you. I release myself. And feel the weight leaving your chest like smoke rising. This is the final seal, the seal of forgiveness. Without it, all other decrees remain ineffective. I have given you much today, more than many will receive in a lifetime of spiritual seeking, and I gave it to you because I was moved to do so. Because on the other side of the screen, somewhere in Brazil, perhaps in a small neighborhood kitchen, perhaps in a quiet room at dawn, perhaps on a bus seat coming home from work, perhaps in a grocery store line, there is someone who needed to hear this today. Perhaps it is you. Perhaps it is the person who will send you this video shortly. Either way, Michael has done his part. Now the continuation is yours and yours alone. Before I close, I want you to close your eyes for a second. It might be asking too much, but do it. Close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and listen to your heart. Listen to the rhythm of its beating. Feel the warmth of your own hand over your own chest and understand, within this chest exists a throne, and upon this throne there is an eternal I Am, and around this throne, standing with sword raised, is the Archangel Michael. He has always been there. He was just waiting for your inner gaze to turn inward. Now open your eyes. You are no longer the same. You have been reconfigured. Your protection has been renewed. Your house has been sealed. Your family has been covered. Your future has been reorganized on the plane of the fourth dimension. It remains for you from now on to persist in the feeling, to honor with your words, to be careful with your consumption, to forgive with your soul, and to observe with gratitude in advance the bridge of incidents assembling to deliver to you everything that has been promised to you from the beginning. Before you leave this meeting, I need to remind you of one thing that cannot escape you. You did not arrive here by chance. This video stopped on your screen because a tear from the Archangel Michael fell upon your name just moments ago, and this tear demands a response from you. That is why I prepared a powerful digital book for you titled How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day. It is the concrete extension of this message you have just received. Within it, you will find the 5 unmistakable marks of the chosen souls, the prayers of shielding inspired directly by Michael, and the step-by-step nightly reprogramming that activates the law of assumption within 7 days of persistence. The link is pinned to the top of the comments and right at the beginning of the description of this video. Those who read it changed their lives in weeks. Those who ignored it missed a rare wave of grace that may not return anytime soon. Do not be the one who asks anymore. Be the one who receives with assumption. Decree your like now. Activate your subscription as a decree of acceptance of the new reality that is arriving. And comment below with the conviction of one who already is. I am guarded by the Archangel Michael, sealed. And go to sleep tonight knowing in the depths of your heart that everything has changed. Because it has truly changed. In the name of the eternal I Am, in the name of Michael the Commander, in the name of the law that governs heaven and earth, it is finished. Amen.